Ewan Richards. I'm a fashion designer with Made by You.
Hey, this is Brian with Harambee Digital, and I have Ewan here, designer made by you is his clothing brand, and he has some fire stuff. Just released his pants today, very fire. 3 different layers of clothing. We're gonna get into that later, but right now we're just gonna interview my guy Ewan. So Ewan, good to see you, my
Good
brother.
to see you too, brother.
Yeah. So, what actually inspired you to become a fashion designer?
Well, a couple of things inspired me, but mainly my grandmother. She was a seamstress, and she was making clothes for a very long time, for like 30, 40 years. And I used to watch my mother go out and wear extravagant clothes all the time. So it really, when I was younger, I was inspired to just see different type of clothing. So I always wanted to make it for myself and make it for others. So my mother really inspired me, and my grandmother inspired me to make clothing.
Oh, that's cool. And I know you're Jamaican, so
Right.
I know you guys got some flashy style going on. I've seen some videos.
Pasta,
Yeah,
pasta.
man.
Yes. Pasta, pasta.
Pasta, pasta.
Yeah, I know about that. My mom was in pasta, pasta, dancing and with the clothes and everything.
Hey, hey.
I had to show love. I had to show love. Pay homage.
For sure, for sure. Okay, next question, Ewan. I guess what is the audience you're kind of targeting, and what are they trying to gain out of your clothing?
Well, my target audience is creatives. So anyone that strives to be different, that's really my target audience. People that want to make their own style, that's my target audience. I want to have a family of people that want to strive to be different, different silhouettes, interchangeable clothing. So that's my target audience, is people that strive to be different.
Fire. I love that. So Ewan, I gotta ask you, what is the most important thing when you're trying to develop a new piece? Like, what is your inspiration? What's the most important thing to you?
The little things that count.
Okay.
Like the buckle, the attachment of how it's done, where the seam lays at the bottom, and how it's hemmed. These are the little things that really make a garment different than the other.
Right. Attention to detail. You gotta have that as like a seamstress and as a fashion designer. So
Definitely.
that's definitely an admirable trait.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, Ewan. So how do you keep up with the latest trends in fashion?
That's a really good question. So my process is, I have a fashion designer that I look up to. His name is Pierre Cardin.
Okay.
Right. So I look at all of the things that he used to do, like in the 50s and 60s and 40s and stuff like that. And I'll pick one thing out of what he likes, because he was more of a futuristic kind of designer. He was doing things in the 40s, 50s, and 60s that went for 2000s and 2010s. So he was more like a futuristic kind of eye. So I'll pick up little 1 or 2 things from him and use my own style with his style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Parlez-vous français?
Yes.
Pierre. Okay.
Yeah.
I see that, the little French seasoning in the pot.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
In the Jamaican pot. Gotta put some Scotch bonnet in there. You know what I mean?
Is that for the curry?
Yeah, some curry, some Scotch bonnet mixed with that French.
So Ewan, can you tell us about your design process from like start to finish?
From start to finish, it's always something different.
Okay.
So in the beginning, like I said, I'll look at something from Pierre Cardin.
Okay.
To get me a little inspiration. Then I'll walk around and just have a feeling of thinking of nature. Like, say if we're around rocks and trees and things like that, I like material. I like how things feel.
Okay. Yeah, I see that with the pants.
Right.
I see that.
That's the main thing with me. I like how things feel. So I would combine nature with feel and emotion in a way, and also silhouettes from my design, from from the designers from the past.
Okay.
That's how I combine it all together to make things out of it. When you put on a garment, it's just people look at you as that's your first impression. So it's more energies brought to you when you wear something that's different or something that stands out. People bring energy towards you. So you gotta have, not have to have, but when you put on something new, you kind of want to go with the feeling of what you got on. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel you 100%. I know I used to go out back in my day,
Yeah.
and I used to come out in the freshest outfit. I would feel that energy from the honeys.
Dig it from the honey, exactly.
So no, I get exactly what you're
Right,
saying, Ewan.
right.
So Ewan, my next question, it's a little bit of a serious question. So what obstacles have you faced as a fashion designer, and how have you overcome those obstacles?
That's a great question. All right, so as a fashion designer, yes, we are creatives and we want our designs to be showcased everywhere, but that's not always the case. So you need to have manufacturing companies. You can't do it all yourself. That's one thing, the main thing I realized in designing. You can be a designer and have great ideas and great ideas, but you need to have a manufacturing company to mass produce your garments. That's how you make a business. So the turnaround is something that you really have to put into consideration when you're a designer. How are you going to make these orders and make them at a timely manner? So these are the things that I came across as a challenging thing for me. Even though I knew as a businessman I need to have a manufacturing company and mass produce garments.
Right.
But it's not always easy, and you need money to do so.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, if you're a struggling designer, or if you're a young designer and you're struggling, you need to just get your money up, make sure you got a plan in place, and always have those same ideas after you get the money and the funds to back it up.
So Ewan, you know we're in New York City, and the number one thing with New York is sustainability. How have you incorporated sustainability inside your clothing product?
All right, so to be honest with you, sustainability is a thing that people are starting to talk about nowadays, which is a great thing. I started doing more research on more sustainable fabric, recyclable fabric, and that's what I'm leaning towards now in my fashion. To be honest with you, beforehand, it was always whoever made the most unique looking thing, and it didn't really matter what kind of fabric you use, as long as it looks unique and people could appeal to it. But nowadays, sustainable fabric is the number one thing that people look at. So I incorporate that in my designs now. So I just do more research on sustainable fabric, and that's what I do now.
Sustainable fabric is the wave. Save the world. So Ewan, on to the next topic. This one's a little bit less serious, but everything's serious when it comes to business. Ewan, can you tell me about a particularly memorable collection that you deemed successful?
Sure, definitely. The most memorable collection the most memorable collection was my first collection. It was a fashion show that I did in 2014. And a lot of people came out to this fashion show that I did, and it was the most memorable for my audience. But really, the most memorable collection that I created was my crown jacket. So my crown jacket is something that I think it's well thought jacket. It happened after 2020, and I was really just thinking about what can I do when we was in the pandemic, and I came up with a jacket that is just buckles that come across and it's fully sealed without a zipper, and you can be in the winter time. I tried it in the winter time in any kind of weather, and it really keeps you warm still, and it doesn't have a zipper. It's just really just buckles, and it makes a crown. So I really like that. And that's the most memorable collection that I made.
Yeah, well, staying warm is very important, Ewan. And I have seen it is fire, fuego, hot fire, Dylan, Dylan, go get you one. So Ewan, my next question to you, what do you think social media and technology play in a role in fashion today?
Oh my gosh, it plays a huge role.
Yeah.
A huge role. So you really can't succeed without it. nowadays. Before, you could probably be at a fashion show, you do 2, 3 fashion shows in a year, and then you get big names to come to you, and then you get a following from there. Or you go in a magazine and you put a little ad out. That's how you was getting traction. But nowadays, you can't do any of that. You really, well, you could do that, but the main source is social media. If you're not posting every day or at a certain time every day, um, you're gonna just be lost. If you have a model where you're more exclusive, you can do that, but you still need social media to put it all together. Like, you can do it at certain times and be exclusive that way, but you still need social media to put it out there. It comes out fast. You can put animation to it. You can put music to it to attract people. So social media is the key moving forward.
So yeah, I definitely agree. Like everything nowadays, you definitely need your phone. You need technology. Social media is key. So fashion and social media is just a match made in heaven. We got to actually merge those two. So on to the next question. Criticism about your. You didn't say
No,
negative.
yeah.
It didn't say negative. Like I said something that was different.
Yeah. Negative criticism. The way he said it. The way he said it, though.
Okay, Ewan. So listen, I got a little bit of a tougher question for you. How do you actually handle like feedback that is not so good, or criticism that is like very mediocre? They didn't like it.
You know what I say to those people? Can we curse on this? Probably not.
I can bleep it out. It's all right.
F them. All right?
You heard it from them.
Listen, those people will only drag you down to your success. You need to have a strong backbone in anything that you do individually. So anybody that says anything to you, F them. They won't see your vision. Only you can really see your vision.
I heard that. In the famous words of 3L Dub, haters, they gonna hate. Baller, they gonna ball.
We don't know the damn song anymore.
Yeah, it's something like that. You something like that.
They gonna hate. And players, they gonna play. Ballers, they gonna ball. Shot callers, they gonna.
So Ewan, for the next generation, what do you actually have to like inspire or like give words of wisdom to like other fashion designers that are actually trying to kind of get where you are in the game?
I would just say keep pushing forward. Honestly, never give up on your dream. There's people like I said before, there's people out there that will challenge you to make you feel like you're not doing the right thing, that they put their insecurities on you.
Facts.
And their pressure on you, but you're the only one that can come out of this. Your perspective means everything. So if you feel like you can make it, and you just take your time, and gradually it will manifest in the way you want it to be.
Message.
I say that to all my creators, everybody, even that it's not even a creative, even in a 9 to 5. You can work a 9 to 5, just gradually do it, but always stay on the main goal and don't make anybody interrupt it.
That's some good advice. Keep on going. Keep chugging. A little engine that could. Never stop moving. That's real shit, Ewan.
Yeah.
When looking at the future and moving forward, I'm just curious, what's the next move for your brand? What's your future? Tell me something about it.
My future is very bright because I not only look at myself as something that needs to show my talents, I'm looking at everybody that comes to me to show their talents to the world. So it's always going to grow. It's always going to show different aspects to it because new people are always going to come and have a better or newer idea. That's the whole point of my company, Made by You, because I bring people into my company and I showcase their talents, and I make sure they have royalties and longevity in whatever they bring to the table. So it's always going to evolve. And that's the model that I think that's gonna last for a very long time.
It sounds like the future to me, brother. That's all I got to say. That sounds like something I can get on board with. All right, Ewan. So yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Ewan, you got to tell the people where to find you.
Oh yeah, so you can find me at Made by You. That's made by _EW on Instagram. Also on Facebook, I have a Made by EW page. That's Made by You. You can find me on my website. My website is madebyu.fun, which my man Brian created. Harambee Digital. Right?
Oh yeah, Harambee Digital.
And it's a great website. You can play around. You can make. I'm gonna create a section there where you can make your own designs and put it on there, and I can send it out to my manufacturing company for them to create your design. So that's hence the madebyu.fun, because you can have fun on the website. And yeah, you can find me on those social media sites, platforms, and that website.
Fire, fire, fire. Well, Ewan, my brother, it's always a pleasure. It's a pleasure seeing you. Pleasure just being out here with you, man. So next time,
Yes.
keep it cool.
All right.
Yes, sir. Respect.
Bless.
Bless up. Bless up.
Mm-hmm.